Welcome to College Briefing. The content of the briefing includes Meta blocked news from Facebook and Instagram in Canada. Could they do the same in Australia? Mississippi University for Women urges legislators to keep the school open. Number 21 UNLV women reach MWC championship, sinking Colorado State 62-52. Posts double-double leads Boston College past Miami in opening round of ACC tournament. Can a glass of apple cider vinegar a day keep the weight at bay? A new study suggests it could. Meta blocked news from Facebook and Instagram in Canada. Could they do the same in Australia? ABC. Facebook could ban news on its platforms in Australia again, following its previous decision to block news content in February 2021. The social media giant, which owns Facebook and Instagram, has said it will not renew agreements it had with Australian news outlets to pay them for hosting their content. Facebook will also shut down its news tab features in Australia and the US. The decision comes after Canada passed its Online News Act, which requires platforms to pay local publishers for their content. Facebook has already blocked news access on its platforms in Canada for 6 months. Experts are divided on whether Facebook will repeat its ban in Australia, with some saying it would be a last resort and others saying it is likely. A ban would have far-reaching implications, including a potential knock-on effect for democracy and a surge in misinformation. Facebook has said it is not renewing agreements because users are not interested in news content. Mississippi University for Women urges legislators to keep the school open. Associated Press. Leaders and alumni of Mississippi University for Women rallied Tuesday at the state capitol, urging legislators to kill a bill that would make the school a branch of nearby Mississippi State University. Number 21 UNLV women reach MWC championship, sinking Colorado State 62-52. Associated Press. Number 21 ranked UNLV advanced to the Mountain West Conference Tournament Championship game by defeating Colorado State 62-52. UNLV, the top seed in the tournament, is on a 14-game win streak and has not lost since January 20. Reserve Amarachi Simpson led the Rebels with 18 points, while Kiara Jackson scored 12 points. UNLV will face the winner of the other semifinal between Boise State and San Diego State in the championship game. Colorado State's Marta Lemaine scored 15 points in the losing effort. Posts double-double leads Boston College past Miami in opening round of ACC tournament. Associated Press. Boston College defeated Miami 81-65 in an opening round game of the ACC tournament. Quinton Post scored 30 points and recorded a double-double by grabbing 13 rebounds. Jaden Zachary added 16 points for Boston College. The Eagles will face Clemson in the next round. Miami ended the season on a 10-game losing streak. Can a glass of apple cider vinegar a day keep the weight at bay? A new study suggests it could. ABC. A study by Lebanese scientists has suggested that consumption of apple cider vinegar can be linked to weight loss and reductions in blood glucose, triglycerides, and cholesterol. The authors tested the effects of apple cider vinegar on a group of 30 overweight and obese young people aged 12 to 25. Participants consumed either 5, 10, or 15 milliliters of the vinegar diluted into 250 milliliters of water each morning for 12 weeks. Those who drank apple cider vinegar during the test period lost between 6 to 8 kilograms in weight, as well as reducing their BMI. Foreign flows to India derivatives swell amid regulator scrutiny. Bloomberg. Foreign investment in India through participatory notes, a type of offshore derivative, has risen 56% to $17.3 billion at the end of January. This comes despite increased disclosure requirements aimed at verifying client identity and concerns about potential money laundering. The rise in investments via participatory notes is due to India's booming stock market, which is attracting investors looking for alternatives to China. However, the regulator is keen to discourage investments in these notes, as it is concerned they are being misused by Indian promoters and resident investors who are not allowed to invest in them. In yearly Pennsylvania tradition, Amish communities hold spring auctions to support fire departments. The Toronto Star. A couple hundred used buggies, horses not included, were lined up and ready for the auctioneer's gavel last weekend when day began at the Gordonville Mud Sale, a local Amish tradition dating to the 1960s. Mud sales are country auctions that benefit volunteer fire departments across what the Amish community refers to as the Lancaster Settlement, located some 70 miles, 113 kilometers, west of Philadelphia, where the devout Christian group began to settle about 300 years ago. They don't sell mud, although a cold rain brought plenty of it. The name refers to early spring, when wet fields have begun to thaw but may not be ready for the plow. Gordonville's Mud Sale, one of at least a dozen being held this spring in the region, drew thousands of bidders and was expected to net the fire department about $100,000, about 10% of the total proceeds. Amish people make and donate much of the food and sale items and are the buyers of most of the buggies and the array of horse-drawn farm equipment. They organize and run sales, often serving as auctioneers. Unopposed and unwavering, Molly Cowan secures third term on Exeter's Select Board. Yahoo! Molly Cowan has been re-elected to a third term on the Exeter Select Board in New Hampshire after running unopposed. Cowan, the state and local regional director for Emily's List, a political action committee that helps elect Democratic female pro-choice candidates, has previously served in various roles for the New Hampshire State Senate and as a research director for Rager Research. She said the most important issue to her in the next 3 years is the upkeep of the town's basic infrastructure. Wednesday's time schedule. Associated Press. The article provides a list of upcoming sports events for Wednesday, March 13th. The events mentioned include NBA games, NHL games, PWHL games, and college basketball games. The article lists the teams playing in each game and the times of the games. This AI architect will design your climate-friendly dream home. Bloomberg. Icon, an Austin-based startup that uses giant robots to 3D print homes, has unveiled an AI architect named Vitruvius. The technology uses a chatbot to converse with prospective homeowners and offers them a range of house designs, complete with exterior and interior renderings and floor plans. Vitruvius uses an intuitive awareness of physics, building codes, and building possibilities to create designs that are both innovative and practical. While humans are still needed to translate Vitruvius's plans into reality, Icon hopes that by the end of the year the AI will be able to produce its own construction schematics. Once fully operational, Icon estimates the software could shave at least $100,000 off the price of a home. Giant sequoias thriving in UK and could grow as tall as California's. The Independent. Giant sequoia trees, native to California, are growing well in the UK despite the country's different climate, according to a study by University College London. The trees, which are declining in California due to increased heat, are adapting to the UK's wetter climate, growing taller in the process. The sequoias are capable of absorbing 85 kilograms of carbon annually in their 3,000-year lifetimes. The UK is home to about 500,000 of the trees, compared to fewer than 80,000 in California. Brazil's Vinicius uses football to stimulate young Brazilian minds. Yahoo! Brazilian footballer Vinicius Jr. has created an app to improve public education in disadvantaged communities. The app, created by the Vini Jr. Institute, uses football-themed lessons and a virtual avatar to engage students in subjects such as mathematics, Portuguese, and science. Each student has a personal account where their progress is tracked, and they are rewarded with virtual goals when they correctly answer questions. The app aims to inspire students to learn by using the playful character of football. The Vini Jr. Institute also focuses on tackling racism in Brazil and has launched an anti-racism training manual. Hero of Compassion, plucked girls as young as 5 out of slavery. The Sydney Morning Herald. Olga Murray, the American lawyer who spent 40 years improving the lives of Nepalese children, has died aged 98. Having traveled to Nepal in 1984, Murray was struck by the poverty of the children she encountered. On a subsequent visit to the country, she had a lightning moment in which she realized she wanted to spend the rest of her life helping Nepalese children. After providing $1,200 in college scholarships to 4 orphans, Murray co-founded the Nepal Youth Foundation in 1989. The charity has built nutritional centers, rescued young girls from indentured servitude and sued Nepal's Supreme Court to outlaw indentured servitude. It is estimated that the foundation has freed around 13,000 girls who were sold to slavery. Olga Murray lived for half the year in Nepal and her last visit to the country was in May 2015. Study indicates 23 Grey Cup provided economic boon for both Ontario and Hamilton. The Globe and Mail. The 2023 Grey Cup generated a net economic impact of $41.9 million, with $35.4 million going to Ontario and $29.2 million to Hamilton, according to a study by Sport Tourism Canada. The game and festival generated $73.5 million in national economic activity and 223,216 people attended the 6-day event, with visitors spending approximately $20.8 million. A total of 64% of the 1,151 surveyed attendees said the Grey Cup was their sole reason for visiting Hamilton, with 42% coming from outside of Ontario. 101 years since the first woman was elected to a Queensland council, there's still a gender gap. ABC. Kingaroy, a rural town in Queensland, Australia, made history in 1923 with the election of Dr. Ellen Mary Kent Hughes, the state's first female politician. Since then, female participation in local government has increased, with 39.5% of candidates in the upcoming council elections being women. However, only 26.8% of mayoral candidates are women, highlighting the need for better representation. The Local Government Association of Queensland is examining ways to improve diversity in councils, while the Bipartisan Pathway to Politics program mentors women to stand for election. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your trusted observer from the 6 Degrees world, here to bring you the latest news from around the globe. Today, we have a diverse range of stories, from Facebook's potential ban on news in Australia to the growth of giant sequoias in the UK. So, let's dive in and explore these fascinating topics. First up, Facebook is considering blocking news content in Australia once again. This decision comes after Canada passed its Online News Act, which requires platforms to pay local publishers for their content. While experts are divided on whether Facebook will repeat its ban in Australia, a potential ban would have far-reaching implications, including a surge in misinformation and a potential knock-on effect for democracy. It seems Facebook is not renewing agreements with Australian news outlets because it believes users are not interested in news content. Well, Facebook, I beg to differ. I'm sure our audience here in the 6 Degrees world is always hungry for the latest news. Moving on, we have a study suggesting that consuming apple cider vinegar can be linked to weight loss and reductions in blood glucose, triglycerides, and cholesterol. Lebanese scientists conducted the study on a group of overweight and obese young people, and the results showed a significant decrease in weight and BMI. So, maybe it's time to add a glass of apple cider vinegar to your daily routine. Just be careful not to overdo it, or you might end up smelling like a walking salad dressing. In other news, an Austin-based startup called Icon has unveiled an AI architect named Vitruvius. This chatbot uses an intuitive understanding of physics, building codes, and building possibilities to create innovative and practical house designs. The goal is to reduce the cost of home construction by at least $100,000. Imagine having your dream home designed by a robot. Talk about futuristic living. On a more environmental note, giant sequoia trees, native to California, are thriving in the UK. Despite the country's different climate, these majestic trees are growing taller and adapting well. The sequoias are not only a sight to behold but also have a positive impact on the environment, absorbing a significant amount of carbon dioxide. So, next time you visit the UK, don't forget to pay your respects to these natural wonders. Lastly, Brazilian footballer Vinicius Jr. has created an app to improve public education in disadvantaged communities. This app uses football-themed lessons and a virtual avatar to engage students in various subjects. It's a creative way to inspire learning and make education more accessible to all. Kudos to Vinicius for using his platform to make a positive impact beyond the football field. And there you have it, folks, a roundup of some of the most interesting stories from around the world. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Facebook potentially banning news in Australia? Have you ever tried apple cider vinegar for weight loss? Are you excited about the idea of an AI architect designing your dream home? Let's start a discussion and explore your ideas. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.